Hello and welcome to program number 2. Hopefully some of you saw my previous 6-minute program, the introduction to who and what I am. And I feel I came down fairly hard on the calorie in that introduction. And I need to expand on that and probably explain why I am so harsh on the calorie. I've certainly suggested that I see the calorie leads us into obesity and not out of it. And I think we need to deconstruct how we view the relationship between ourselves and the food that we consume. So I've been very fortunate to meet a huge number of clients over the years, and we go through this conversation, and I'm very happy for them to challenge me on it, and we have a good chat about it. So we always start with a very simple question, a question from me to them saying quite simply, what is a calorie? And the number of times people have to stop and think, and feel free to have a think yourself. Pause the video, have a think. What is a calorie? And when people generally come back with answers, it's something written on the packaging on the food. It's what a food contains. It tells us what a food can do for us, which are fine. And then we start asking more specifically. And we get down to the fact that yes, it's an energy. So it tells us how much energy a food has. And then I ask them, what type of energy is that? So is that energy, is it sound energy? Is it wave energy? Is it heat energy? Is it light energy? What kind of energy is a calorie? And ostensibly, we obviously end up with the fact that the calorie is a unit of heat energy, which is all well and good. And we need to understand where the calorie came from and how it was ascribed to the food that we consume. And the calorie is known as a proxy unit. In other words, it's the best fit we have as a unit that gives us some information scientifically about the relationship between ourselves and our food. And unfortunately, it's in this methodology of determining how many calories a food has that lets us down between the relationship we have between our food and ourselves. So in order to tell you that a slice of chocolate cake has so many calories, an apple has so many calories, a can of fizzy pop has so many calories, we need to put it through a scientific experiment. We need to put that food into a bomb calorimeter. And we will literally burn that food. We will set fire to it and we will let it burn until there's nothing left. And that food, when it is being burnt, is placed inside a fireproof bag, and that is placed inside a known quantity of water inside an insulated unit. So the only item that can heat the water up is the burning of that food. Now I can tell you how many calories are in one of your shoes, or in a handbag, or in a belt. But obviously we're not going to eat those. So I can give you the calories for any number of items, if you like. So for us to sit there and say that because a food item heats up a known quantity of water by so many degrees, that then gives us a good guide as to the relationship between that food and ourselves. And ostensibly, that's where that theory falls down. We are not burners. We are not incinerators. We don't burn our food, okay? We create heat from our food by chemical reaction. So what we are is massive, walking, talking chemical reactors. And it's on that basis that we really need to look at our food. And that's where, when I train clients, I tend to diverge away from the norms and standards that pretty much everyone else uses. And it's no one's fault. Governments, health services, and everyone else, we inherited the calorie. It was given to us by scientists way back in Victorian times, so we've never really questioned it. And I do, and I clearly disregard the calorie. So I'll talk to my clients about their relationship with food in terms of the chemical makeup of their food, because after all, that is what we're looking at. So you need to remember that yes, we maintain a core internal temperature. Yes, that's vitally important, but that is as a byproduct, a very lucky byproduct, of millions, if not billions, of chemical reactions going on inside our body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we then go through a series of arguments and discussions about looking at our food from a chemical point of view. And once we understand some very basic chemistry of our food, then we can start to understand how we can consume food in a manner that will either help us reduce body fat, lose weight, or at least will prevent us putting any more body fat on. And that's key to this. So we can look at that in another talk. I'll expand on that again. So hopefully that starts to give you some questions. You can look at deconstructing how we inherited the calorie and what it means for us and our relationship with food. But certainly for myself and my clients, we tend to disregard the calorie, discount it, set it to one side, and look at our food simply from a chemical perspective and the chemical interaction between us and our foods. And it's very, very basic. We only look on 4 scales essentially. That is the items of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen in our food. But more on that later. Thanks very much again for watching this program, and I'll chat to you soon. Thank you.